very much for being here.
Well, good morning. What a great day for the state of Washington. You know, we have so many great, inspiring things going in our state. We're the Super Bowl champs. The Mariners are in a pennant race. But the single most inspiring story, the thing that ought to make us proud and proud of us to be citizens of the Evergreen State, is the story of September 3rd, 2014, after 18 months of diligence, the reopening of Crestline Elementary School. This is the single most inspiring story in the state of Washington. And it is inspiring. It is clear to me that you can burn down a building, but you cannot burn down a community's commitment to its children. And this community has shown this in spades. Let me just quote a few numbers. First 18 months, a lot of government agencies and a lot of communities couldn't get the application for an opening of a permit in 18 months. This community turned around, put its shoulder to the wheel, decided to get rid of the cobwebs, motivated the entire state to do its part, and in 18 months gave a home of learning for its kids. This is a real achievement, and people ought to be proud of it for 18 months. Now, that happened for a lot of reasons. First off, you need to recognize the leadership of John Dieter, who led this effort. This man accomplished miracles for this community. But it wasn't just him. You have the foundation, the whole district foundation. You have parents that I know encouraged the community leaders to get behind this. And yes, the state of Washington helped too. I'm glad that we were able to bump this up to front of the line to make sure the state of Washington to do what it could, as fast as it could. I feel good about that. Second number, you did this with style. This wasn't just a tilt-up building, of kind of a Quonset hut. This is a beautiful facility. And here's something that this community ought to be proud of. It is 17% more energy efficient than the building codes require. This is a monument not just to rapid decision-making, it is a monument to saving energy to help in the fight against climate change. Congratulations to the energy-efficient gurus who led this beautiful building. Third, the number 480. 480 kids are going to be able to come to school with their neighbors and get to hang around with their teachers and have a place that they, in fact, can call home. Now, we know something about our children. When we give them the full measure of devotion, of investments, great things happen. One of which is this incredible singer. How about a round of applause for the singer, graduate of Crestline Elementary School. We know when we make these investments, tremendous things come out of our school system of kids who now are going to go forward to build the next generation of aerospace industry, the next generation of software. We know good things can happen. But I want to mention something that is not associated with bricks or mortar or steel. We know this building is beautiful. We know it is energy efficient. We know it was built in record time. But we know that the heart and soul of this school are the teachers and the counselors and the janitors and the cooks and the administrators. Let's give a shout out to the people who are the heart of this school. And we know when we give the teachers and the classified personnel the tools to do the job, they work miracles with our kids. I've seen it around the state of Washington. And I am so grateful for the great educators who are doing a great job. We just need to give them the tools to do their job. And the next year, when we're fighting in the legislature for resources for our schools so that they can do their job, I'm going to remind them of this story of Crestline Elementary School. I want to close by telling you what this school means to me personally. When I was a wet behind the ears governor, I'd only been in office for about a month and a half when this fire took place. And I came down here to see how I could help this community rebuild. And I met the students and the administrators and the students just to talk about this traumatic experience. And I know it was traumatic. When your school burns down and you have to be sent by bus to other schools, that's a traumatic thing for young people. And I came down, I was talking to a group of students, and I asked the students, I said, because I wanted to put, if we could, some kind of positive approach to this experience, I asked the students, I said, what have you learned from this experience? What have you taken from this experience? And this one young fella in the back of the audience raised his hand, and he said, well, I've learned something. And I said, what have you learned? He said, well, I've learned that we can do hard things. And that this has been really hard, but that when you work together with other people, you can do hard things. And I said, well, how have you built on that experience? And he said, well, I went home and talked to my mom about this. She's a graphic artist. And my mom and I designed a sign that said, we can do hard things. And we took this sign and we put it up in the front of our classroom so that I could share this experience with my fellow students so that they can be optimistic and courageous and willing to get over hard things. And I heard this, and I'll tell you, that just grabbed me, because I knew as governor I was going to be in for some hard things, right? And my view is if this young man, whose name was Peyton Rush, could do hard things, and he could inspire his fellow students to hard things, maybe I could do the same thing. So I went back to my office in Olympia the next day, and we made a big sign about this big, and it says, we can do hard things. And when you walk out of the governor's office for the last year and a half, the last thing you see is a sign that says, we can do hard things. And when legislators walked into my office and said, oh, this is too hard, we'll never be able to do this, I said, wait a minute, pal, take a look at this sign. Take a look at what Peyton Rush did. Take a look at what Crestline Elementary School did. We can and must do hard things. Now, I want to ask Peyton Rush to come out here. Peyton, where'd you go? Are you out here? Peyton, if you can come up here for a second. Now, one of the great duties of the governor of the state of Washington is every day I get to name the Washingtonian of the day. That's the citizen of the state of Washington who is most inspirational and has done the most for our state. So today I'm naming Peyton Rush Washingtonian of the Day, and I'm taking off my Apple pin and I'm going to pin this on him. Peyton Rush, Washingtonian of the Day. Thanks to Crestline. Good luck.